Hey everyone, Soul here. I wanted to talk to you guys about something I got the chance to do recently. In case the title of the video didn't give it away, I got to participate in a Pokemon UNITE beta test, and I had a blast. I wanted to get some of my thoughts out there, while also just addressing what the game is about, and why I hope a lot of people will play on release. If you're worried about your data being sold and want to avoid the game for that reason, given who's developing it, chances are it already was sold. So let's play some Pokemon UNITE. I was going to show off gameplay in this video, as I discussed the game itself and my thoughts, but much more intrepid content creators had already posted content to YouTube and subsequently got it all taken down due to the confidentiality agreement that was emblazoned on screen at all times. For the safety of the video, I'll just have some Sword and Shield gameplay going in the background. Gives me an excuse to play that dumpster fire that I foolishly paid for. Now, Pokemon UNITE is the Pokemon Company's way of solidifying their presence in the mobile and Chinese markets much harder than they already have, and from a different angle, by way of a partnership with Satan. Tencent. Nailed it. As if Pokemon Go wasn't enough. Being developed by TiMi, this game is a MOBA, a la League of Legends and Smite, with its own unique spin on the genre. The beta itself lasted roughly 2 weeks at the start of March, and was open to my fellow Android-using Canadians and I. That being said, someone uploaded the APK file to the internet and people worldwide were able to join in. I'm sure they were not prepared for the player base to be as massive as it ended up getting. Let's get into some general knowledge before we dive into things. Pokemon UNITE is a team-oriented endeavor. Games like League of Legends and Dota have you playing with your team on a map, with the objective being the destruction of the enemy team's nexus, or base. This is achieved by strategically splitting the team up to conquer lanes and a neutral space. Matches end up taking however long is necessary for the winning team to successfully smash up the enemy base, or for the losing team to surrender. On its standard map, Remote Stadium, you'll still see 2 teams of 5 that split up to lane, with a central jungler farming up in the neutral space. However, success is achieved by accumulating and then scoring points on goals that are laid out along the lanes, with one permanent goal right outside each team's spawning point. The more points you accumulate, up to a cap of 50, the longer it'll take for you to score your points, and being attacked while scoring interrupts you. Since the game runs on a point system, matches are all timed at 10 minutes on their standard map. Traditionally, you're earning gold or coins in matches to buy items and increase your stats. In UNITE, your Pokemon can be equipped with 4 items in the game lobby. 1 item is an active item that you can use periodically in battle, and 3 items are passive items offering stat modifications or bonuses when scoring goals or attacking, so on. There's no further item management during the match, you just gotta focus on moving, killing, and scoring goals. Here's what I liked about the experience so far. For starters, you know exactly how long you'll be strapped in for the ride, and this is huge to me. You have an expectation set, and because of the time constraint, a lot is taking place in a relatively small time frame. It's pretty fun. Pokemon really lends itself well to the genre, I think. Games like these feature extensive rosters of fairly unique characters, all fulfilling various roles, with each of them having something that makes them stand out amongst the rest. Despite the core gameplay elements being the same, Pokemon UNITE does have several roles as well. You have attackers, defenders, all-rounders, speedsters, and supporters. Attackers are Pokemon that are capable of dishing out some crazy amounts of damage, primarily from afar. You'll see attackers heading to the top lane at the beginning of the match, trading blows with the enemy in between score collecting. To name a few, Pokemon like Greninja, Cinderace, and of course Pikachu, gotta have the mascot in there, are the notable attackers, at least during this beta period. Defenders are exactly what they sound like. A strong defensive core that aids their team by soaking up hits and harassing the enemy with their crowd controlling effects. I personally saw defenders heading mostly to the bottom lane, alongside the class I'll be talking about next, all-rounders. Blastoise, Crustle, and Snorlax are a couple of defenders that we had to choose from. All-rounders are interesting. They don't boast an insane presence in any of your normal stats, at least from what I was able to tell, but every all-rounder that was available to play in the beta had an interesting array of skills. This role is typically heading to the bottom lane alongside a defender like I said, and they're playing very cautiously as the match is just starting out, waiting for the other side to slip up or to receive aid from your speedster. Pokemon like Charizard, Machamp, and Garchomp are in this category. 3 fairly different Pokemon if you look at them in the traditional sense. Speedsters are this game's equivalent to your traditional MOBA junglers. They're incredibly high mobility Pokemon that hit hard and fast, but are pretty frail and likely to be knocked out if they didn't accomplish what they set out to do while they had the chance. Absol, Gengar, and Talonflame were our picks for Speedster in this beta. And last, and in my opinion least, are the supporters. I can't comment all that much on this. The beta only had 2 supporters to choose from, and they were just okay. It's the fact that there were only 2 to choose from is why I say least. The supporter does just that. They support their team, either by healing allies, providing shields, or cover from the enemy team. Mr.Mime and Eldegoss were the only 2 that we got to play at this time, but those picks should give you an idea of what types of Pokemon can fit the mold. Another great plus is the fact that no 2 Pokemon feel remotely the same. Greninja and Cinderace are both attackers like I had said before, but the way that they play are both pretty different, and this difference stems from how attacking works. Every Pokemon has a basic attack with unique properties, 2 special attacks, and an ultimate attack. The 2 special attacks are even more interesting. This is where a bulk of the unique aspects of a Pokemon come up. As you level up, you're able to upgrade the attack into one of 2 versions, and both are usually pretty different. Absol, for example, starts with Feint. It dashes in an arc and deals damage to whatever is in its path as it travels. When you're able to, Feint can be upgraded to either Night Slash or Pursuit, both boasting their own unique properties. What you choose is a matter of personal preference or what you think is a more effective move. The map has 3 points of interest. Larger neutral Pokemon spawn here periodically, and taking them down with your team will provide buffs. You've got Dreadnought situated at the bottom of the map, which gives the entire team an experience boost and a shield to help mitigate damage in fights. Rotom floats at the top of the map and will travel alongside the team that defeats it towards the nearest goal, scoring points, I believe 20, and temporarily providing a reduction in scoring time, meaning that you can have the cap of 50 points and instead of having to charge up slowly, it'll take you significantly less time. Zapdos appears smack dab in the middle, and only during the final 2 minutes of the match. It is incredibly strong and requires a team, or just a Garchomp, to take down. The team that secures this gets to deal damage and stun the entire enemy team wherever they are on the map, as well as reducing the scoring time on all available enemy goals. This pairs up really well with the fact that points scored are worth double in the final stretch of the game, making it possible to score up to 100 points in a matter of seconds. This can help turn the tide of a match if played well. All of these elements together make for a pretty enjoyable experience, I think. But now we're going to move on to different, less enjoyable things. Here's what I personally was either neutral on or simply did not like. Right off the bat, I think the game lacks specificity. Now you might be thinking, what the hell do you mean by that? Don't worry, I'll tell you. With the help of an example. Pikachu, at the beginning of the game, has a special move called Electro Web. In Unite, Electro Web deals damage to a selected target and roots them in place for a little while. How much damage exactly? I don't know. And how long are you rooted for, you might be wondering. I also don't know. Some items and attacks straight up didn't have descriptors. I'm hoping that was just a kink to be ironed out due to the beta status of the game. In general though, details like that really help open up an analytical approach to games like this. Being able to know how much damage you'll be dealing in a given moment in relation to an opponent's remaining health can help tip the scales in favor of either, let's say, making a more aggressive play because you think you can secure a kill, or to let you know you should back off and preserve the skill for a more opportune moment, because you know that going all in with it now won't get you the kill and is more of a waste than anything else, and in a game with a keyboard will get you flamed too. The game is plagued by currencies. there are 4 different types of currency. 4! You have your coins that you're earning by playing matches. These are used to buy new Pokemon passes and battle items. And then you've got your premium currency, which I think were called Zirco crystals. These are mainly going to be used to get skins. And then there's tickets, which are used to get clothes for your avatar, which I also plan on complaining about shortly. And lastly are yet another set of tickets. These ones specifically though come to you via an energy crate. The crate will randomly give you a fashion item as you fill it, but it'll give you tickets instead if you receive an item that you already had in your possession. If you manage to get enough of these tickets, then you can choose which item you were rewarded instead of leaving it up to RNG. Both tickets feel redundant to me. The coins and premium currencies should be enough. The premium currency obviously has a much lower cost to compensate for the fact that players will have to use real money to purchase more of it, but that's really all that needed to be present. Instead of giving me a ticket when I get a duplicate from the energy tank, just give me coins. Problem solved. Speaking of paying real money for currency, this game feels like it's going to be very, very money grabby. I realize profits are always the goal, but it feels a bit egregious in this game. Premium currency, that's par for the course now. We've all come to accept it in games like these, and I guess so are battle passes because yep, this game is going to feature a battle pass too. You use your crystals to unlock the battle pass, and you get some nice goodies as you progress, albeit at a very real cost. Pokemon have skins like I mentioned before, and hey, those also cost crystals. And if you're short on coins because a Pokemon costs 8,000 to acquire and you want to get another one, don't worry, as long as you have a few hundred crystals, you'll be alright. Next up is the player avatar. I'm conflicted talking about this. They look nice, and some of the fashion items make for a very cool looking avatar, something really unique. But in this game, they feel so pointless. The avatar is in the main menu, and it shows up on your trainer profile, on loading screens, but only if you tap on the Pokemon icons on the loading screen, and in-game, they show up as a static image when you send your Pokemon out on initial spawn and on respawns. But why? The menu could have just as easily featured the Pokemon you're playing only. The trainer profile could have been an array of icons of trainers from other games, or, you know, the Pokemon that are in the game. The loading screen already features the Pokemon that are going to be in battle and their active item. That's pretty much the only info that actually matters to a player about to hop into a match, and the image showing up on spawn adds nothing to the gameplay experience. It didn't need to be there at all as far as I was concerned. So why does the avatar even exist in that case? In my expert opinion, the answer is this: money! You can use the premium currency to get more of everything, including the currencies required for fashion items, so why not throw an otherwise useless gameplay aspect in that can be monetized, right? The game already breaks the Pokemon formula in the way that Pokemon are interacting with each other and playing. A trainer didn't need to be there for this game to work, if they were trying to maintain that core concept. If there was another component coming to the game that added actual utility to having a personalized avatar, that'd be pretty cool. I honestly have no idea what that could realistically be, but I'm open to it if it makes the avatar feel like anything other than a cash opportunity. My final real complaint is that I think game balance needs some work. And by some, I mean a lot. In games like this, there's inevitably going to be a hierarchy that forms where the better, more viable picks are on top and are played more often, leaving the ones that struggle in comparison to be unused and unloved. And I could be completely off in saying this, but I experienced quite a few games where my team was doing so well that it got to the point where the enemy team couldn't even leave their base. And this was almost always occurring because of a select few Pokemon. Speedsters, especially Talonflame and Absol, are absolute monsters. Their high mobility makes scoring points a cinch, which is essential to a point-based game. They're also quite capable in battle. Snorlax has a special move called Block that quite literally blocks any opponent from moving past them. In those curb stomp matches that I had, an allied Snorlax would stand in front of their base, and use block as much as they could while the rest of us just dumped any and all points that we got in. We were already significantly ahead at this point, but we just made a comeback absolutely impossible for the other team, and it wasn't fun to play at that point. I can't even imagine how the other team felt. Surrendering was an option, but it seemed like somebody was holding them hostage, and that could be another issue to discuss in and of itself. Overall though, I think there's something really special here, and with constant improvements and good support, this game can really take off. The Pokemon brand fits the genre of gaming perfectly in my opinion, and the fast-paced matches are really enjoyable experiences. Some additional info added to items and abilities would go a long way, as well as some balancing. Either way though, I expect that I'll be playing this a lot when it releases, on my Switch. This ended up being a lot more involved than I initially intended, but I hope that I helped someone out there get a better understanding of what to expect. And I hope you enjoyed the gameplay I peppered in there. Hopefully we don't get caught. Thanks for tuning in. Love ya.